Hey guys, I'm Sebastian and this is Ninth Island Connection. Welcome to our channel. Can you believe we're already talking about September? But before we get into that, check out the description below so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are. And if you're not subscribed to our channel already, go ahead and subscribe. All we do is bring you Vegas. You're looking for content about Vegas. You landed here, might as well subscribe. It doesn't cost anything and it definitely helps us out. In this video right here, I cannot believe that we are already talking about September 2025. I feel like this entire year has been on fast forward, but here we are. So in this video, we're going to share with you everything as of today going on in Vegas in September of 2025.
And instead of looking at me, here's footage of Vegas. I do want to point out that this is footage that we recently took during one of our staycations, so you guys can see what it really looks like now. Yes, the tourism numbers are down, but people are still coming here to Vegas. Vegas is not dead. Don't fall into the clickbait. Do keep in mind that it was over 100 degrees and we filmed on a Sunday and Monday, which are typically slower days of the week anyway. And with everything happening in the month of September, we are definitely going to see more people coming to Vegas. While summer does come to an end in the month of September and fall begins, it's still going to feel like summer here on the 9th island of Las Vegas. The average daily temperature typically falls in the mid-90s. However, expect to still get triple-digit days. In the evenings, you can get a little bit of a break with averages cooling off into the 70s, but you don't realize that until like 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's gonna feel warm while you're here, even in the evenings. This is also the last guaranteed full month of Vegas pool season, as the majority of pools do begin to close in mid-October. No specific closing date. It's based on traffic and temperature. Now, typically September does kick off music festival season here in Vegas. However, this year there's only one big one, and that's the iHeartRadio Music Festival. That's going to be held at T-Mobile Arena September 19th and 20th. Life is Beautiful used to take place during the same weekend across downtown. However, the festival was canceled due to a decrease in attendance. If you didn't know, September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and you can expect quite the celebration with a variety of musicians and comedians traveling into town throughout the entire month of September. Here's what's happening in the entertainment capital of the world during the month of September. Let's get into it, starting with music. Bruno Mars over at Dolby Live, that's at Park MGM, and that's going to be on the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. His tickets are expensive, but don't worry about spending too much because in that theater, there really isn't a bad seat in the house. Rob Thomas doing his thing over at Fontainebleau on the 5th. And if you haven't been to Fontainebleau, it's worth just checking out. Even if you're not going to see Rob Thomas, it is an absolutely beautiful property. The Eagles, they killed it at the Sphere when they were here last time, and they're coming back to do it again. That's going to be on the 5th, the 6th, the 12th, and the 13th. Side note, they are going to be here in October as well. David Lee Roth doing his thing over at Fontainebleau. That's going to be on the 6th. And again, that property is just worth checking out. No, they did not pay us. Nobody pays us for social media. It's just a really nice property. We've got John Batiste over at the CWIN on the 6th and 7th, Janet Jackson at Resorts World Las Vegas on the 10th, 13th, 14th, 17th, 19th, and 20th. She was here before and her shows absolutely sold out. She did great and she's back again. Barry Manilow still doing his thing over at the Westgate on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Now, he has a lifetime contract with Westgate, so he can perform there as often as he'd like for as long as he'd like. I think that's pretty cool because he's been in Vegas for a really long time. Ricky Martin is coming to town. He's going to be over at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, and that's going to be on the 12th and 13th. Motley Crue, Yes, Motley Crue is still doing their thing and touring. They're going to be at Dolby Live. Again, that's at Park MGM. They're pretty much here the entire month of September. The 12th, 13th, 17th, 19th, 20th, 24th, 26th, and 27th. So plenty of time to catch them. Corinne Leon over at MGM Grand Garden Arena. That's going to be on the 12th. The Struts over at Durango Casino and Resort on the 12th, which is an absolutely beautiful property. Definitely go hit up Durango. Banda MS at Michelob Ultra Arena. That's over at Mandalay Bay. That's the same arena where the Las Vegas Aces play. You've got Grupo Duelo over at Planet Hollywood on the 12th. Matute over at the Venetian for 2 nights on the 12th and 13th. One of the best performances that I've seen in Vegas and all the time we've been here is Pitbull. He's going to be over at Fontainebleau on the 12th and 13th. And I tell you what, that show is electric. You've got Cello over at Planet Hollywood on the 13th. Alejandro Fernandez over at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on the 13th and 15th. Edith Marquez is going to be over at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. That's just off the strip. It's actually a really nice property. That's going to be on the 14th. Palomazo Norteño going to be over at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on the 14th. Marco Antonio Solis is going to be at the Coliseum. That's at Caesar's Palace on the 14th and 15th. Ramon Ayala over at Planet Hollywood on the 15th. I think I did a good job with that pronunciation. Don't forget to check out our merchandise shop right here. We've got your t-shirts, your hats, coffee mugs, everything Ninth Island Connection. Jesse and Joy over at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas on the 15th. Tom Kiefer Band with LA Guns. That's going to be at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas on the 17th. Santana coming back to town over at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay. That's going to be the 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 24th, 25th, 27th, and 28th. But don't worry, if you want to catch Santana and you're not going to be here in September, he's pretty much here the majority of the year. Ringo Starr and his all-star band at the Venetian on the 17th, 19th, 20th, 24th, 26th, and 27th. Chris Brown over at Allegiant Stadium, that's going to be on the 19th and 20th. Rod Stewart at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, the 24th, 26th, and 27th. He's another one that performs here throughout the year. This one I'm really excited for. This is from my childhood, Tears for Fears over at Fontainebleau. That's going to be on the 24th, 26th, and 27th. America coming to Virgin Hotels Las Vegas on the 26th. There's a lot going on at Virgin Hotels. Falling in Reverse, that's going to be at Planet Hollywood on the 26th. Benson Boone, going to be at T-Mobile Arena, that's on the 26th. John Legend, who does come to town throughout the year, that's going to be at the Cosmopolitan on the 26th. Fishbone and the Slackers over at the Westgate on the 27th. And you know what? The Westgate doesn't get the appreciation it deserves. That property is iconic and it's actually really nice. They've got great food, a great casino, and I'll say this again, no, this is not paid for. Westgate probably doesn't even know we're doing this video. We just like to promote properties that don't get the love that we think they deserve, and that's one of them. Band of Horses and Iron and Wine over at Durango Casino and Resort. That's going to be on the 27th. Luis R. Conriquez over at Michelob Ultra Arena. That's going to be at Mandalay Bay on the 27th. The Strokes over at the Cosmopolitan on the 27th. The Who over at MGM Grand Garden Arena on the 28th. Now keep in mind, all of these shows that we just covered for September in Vegas, this is in addition to all of the other musicians that are always here in town. Let's talk comedy. Jerry Seinfeld at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace on the 5th and 6th. David Spade and Nikki Glaser I didn't realize they perform together all across the country. I thought it was just a Vegas thing, but they're coming back to town. They're going to be at the Venetian on the 5th and 6th. Alfred Robles over at the Venetian on the 12th. Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias over at the Cosmopolitan on the 12th and 13th. He's another one that always comes to town. He does a great show. Felipe Esparza over at MGM Grand on the 12th and 13th. Teo Gonzalez and Mario Aguilar are going to be over at the Venetian on the 13th. Sam Morrill over at the Venetian on the 19th. Howie Mandel and Arsenio Hall. I didn't know they toured together as well. They're going to be at the MGM Grand on the 20th. Chris Tucker, who does come to town quite often, is going to be at the CWIN on the 26th and 27th. And then we're wrapping it up with Tumua and the Chi-Hoo Tour. That's going to be at the Venetian on the 27th. Let's talk sports. The Las Vegas Aces are going to be at T-Mobile Arena hosting the Minnesota Lynx on the 4th and the Chicago Sky on the 7th and 9th. TKO Boxing, we've got Saul Canelo Alvarez taking on Terrence Crawford. That's going to be over at Allegiant Stadium on the 13th. The Las Vegas Raiders are at home at Allegiant Stadium hosting the Chargers on the 15th and the Chicago Bears on the 28th. The Las Vegas Aviators are going to be out at the Las Vegas Ballpark the 16th through the 20th. That's over in downtown Summerlin, right by Red Rock Casino. And Trader Joe's. Got to give them a shout out. That's my favorite Trader Joe's in all of Vegas over there. But there's a lot to do in that area. There's plenty of retail, there's dining, it's all walkable. And of course, Red Rock is a beautiful property worth checking out. That's really a nice day out there at the ballpark. Super Motocross World Championship is going to be over at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's going to be on the 20th. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to be at home at T-Mobile Arena. Keep in mind, this is preseason. The tickets are a lot less expensive. I would definitely put this on my list if you can. They're going to be hosting the LA Kings on the 23rd and Utah Mammoth on the 25th. And wrapping it up with Arena Wars Fighting Series. This is going to be at Orleans Arena over at the Orleans. That's going to be on the 27th. And you know what? The Orleans is actually a really nice property. It is a Boyd property, so same ownership and management as the Cal, Main Street, and Fremont. They do have great dining in there, a nice big casino, lower table minimums too, which I definitely appreciate. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this one. As always, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments, are you coming to town in the month of September? What are your thoughts? Let us know. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. And if you've made it this far, if you still hear my voice and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You made it this far. We appreciate your support. If you are subscribed, thank you guys so much for sticking with us and supporting us all of this time. Don't forget to check out the description below so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are. And yes, we are all over social media. Hit us up. We're Instagramming, TikToking, Threading, Facebook. We're everywhere. You guys get it. We are Ninth Island Connection. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom and pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas.
From Las Vegas entertainers and athletes to all of the exciting activities and experiences around the Vegas Valley, we keep our viewers connected with all of the excitement that the entertainment capital of the world has to offer. Of course, we can't forget about the casinos that make Vegas, Vegas, with exclusive tours of the incredible amenities and beautiful accommodations, getting right in the heart of the casino floor action and entertainment, as well as interviews with casino owners, CEOs, GMs, and executive chefs. We bring the Las Vegas Casino into our viewers' homes. Highlighting lesser-known areas like the Fremont East District, the Arts District, and Brewery Row, we bring attention to these small businesses that have become fast favorites in the local community. We bring our viewers a complete Vegas experience. We also invite our viewers along as we venture into the great outdoors of the Las Vegas Valley, sharing short road trips, hikes, and the unique sights found in the Mojave Desert. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.